Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite a while since I last did a video, but now it's 2021. I'm going to get back into filming regularly, hopefully. Today's look is going to be a tutorial of one of Maddie's very iconic looks from Euphoria. So if you want to see how I did this, carry on watching. First, I'm going in with my badescu Rose Water Spray. This just really helps to prep and soothe my skin before any makeup. I'm then going in with my Plouise base. This is just one of my favourite eye bases ever. It really helps to bring out the pigment of any eyeshadow. And I'm just going to put that all over my eyelid with a round flat brush. I much prefer to pat the product in with my brush rather than just dragging it around the eye. I feel it makes it look a lot more smoother and less creased. Then I'm just going to use my beauty blender just to pack it into the skin. Now for eyeshadow, I'm going in with my Norvina Vol.2 palette. This is one of my favourite Anastasia palettes. I'm just going to use a flat brush to map out where I'm going to do my wing, and then I'm going to blend that out with a really small round brush, just in circular motions to map out my shape. I'm not using loads of eyeshadow at this point because I don't want the colour to be too dark around the edges. I always use a small brush for this part because otherwise you just end up blending out the shape way too much and it doesn't end up coming out how you want it to. Now I'm just going to add a very small amount of black shadow to the outer corner just because I want an ombre effect going on. I want it to be darker on the outside and then gradually get lighter as it goes in. Next, I'm packing on a dark blue and then blending it into the small amount of black we've got on the outside. Now, it may look like I'm using the same brush, but I have multiple versions of this brush. So always make sure you're using a clean brush for every colour. Next, I'm going to use a round flat brush just to pack on the light blue colour and blend it into the darker blue. Now, it may look a bit patchy at the moment, but this is just the first layer. Always like to do two just to make sure you get the gradient for each colour. Then I'm going to apply this blue shimmer just at the beginning of my light blue shadow, just to give it a bit more pop. I always like to apply shimmer with my finger just because I feel like it comes off so much better than it does with a brush. And then just blending that into the light blue as well. Then I just like to clean up the edges with a makeup wipe just to make sure that my shape is still how I want it to be. It doesn't matter too much though because we will be putting gems around the outside. Now time to do the face. This is where I look incredibly scary, so please just ignore that factor. First I'm going in with the Ordinary silicone primer. I'm just applying it with a very fluffy round brush. Now for foundation, I'm going to use the Nars Velvet Matte Foundation Stick. I'm not too sure if you can get this anymore. I did try to look a couple months back and I couldn't find it anywhere, but if I can find it, I'll link it below. This is the foundation that I like to use for my Instagram looks, just because I feel like on camera it looks very airbrushed. Now I'm using the same type of brush that I used for my primer to blend out my foundation. I'm getting more into using brushes for foundation more than sponges at the moment. I'm just kind of testing it out and see how it works for me. I'm then just going in with my beauty blender afterwards to pat it into my skin a little bit more. Next for concealer, I'm going in with my Loreal Infallible Concealer. This is my favourite drugstore concealer ever. I'm applying it under my eyes, by my smile lines and on my chin. I haven't quite got the hang of doing this with a brush yet, so we stick to a beauty blender when it comes to concealer at the moment. Now I'm just going to apply the foundation to my forehead, same technique as when I use for my face, nothing is different. Next, I'm going in with the Too Faced Born This Way powder just to set under my eyes and my smile lines as well. Now this is the moment I messed up and used the wrong colour. So from there on out we did the rest of my contour off of camera. For my highlight, I'm using the Unicorn Cosmetics Lit Up Highlighter. Obsessed with this, got it for Christmas, and just look at that glow. And this is just a little look at how the skin and the look is looking so far. Next we're on to brows. Now the products I used is the Tame and Frame NYX Pomade and the Barium Clear Brow Gel. I used a brow gel before and after just to make my brows look as fluffy as possible. Now I just use an angled brush with the pomade. I follow the natural shape of my brows. I am trying to grow them out a little bit, so please just ignore the fact that they look very overgrown underneath, but we fix that with concealer later. Now we move on to the trickiest part of this makeup look. This is such a fiddly task. I got these gems off of Amazon quite a while ago. They have lasted me quite a while and there is a lot in there to use. I use glitter glue to stick the gems onto my eyes and it works really well. I used to use eyelash glue, but that's just such a pain to get off. I can't even tell you. What I do is I just put a little bit of the glue onto a palette. I dip each gem into the glue and I also put a little bit of glue on my eye just to make sure the gem definitely sticks. It's a bit of a lengthy process. It took me about 30 minutes to do both the eyes, but do you know what? It's worth it in the end. I use really small eyeliner brushes just to get the gem to stick on my eye. Basically, I just dip the brush in a little bit of glue, pick up the gem with that, and then stick it to my eye. For me, I find like the inner corner is just a little bit more trickier because you don't have as much space, but you know, we get there eventually. And then for underneath my eyes, I'm just going to use a flat round brush and use the same light blue colour and blend that out. And then this is the finished eye look, without the lashes of course. Next we're going on to lips. I'm just using this Lottie London lip liner just to line my lips as they have a bit of foundation on them. Not a good look. Then we're going in with my Fenty Gloss Bomb. I prefer glosses so much more to lipsticks. I don't know why. Don't worry, we will blend out that lip liner. I know it looks a bit questionable at the moment. And that is the look all finished, guys. I applied my lashes and some eyeliner on my waterline off of camera, but this is the finished look. I'm so happy with it. If you want to see the pictures, head over to my Instagram. The link will be in the description. If you guys have any tutorials you'd like me to do, comment them below. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I really hope you all have a lovely new year. See you in the next one.